So it's tourist season in Montreal. Maybe you're going away to avoid the crowds and you're thinking, how can I make some money off of that? Well, one thing you could do is list your place on a website like Airbnb or VRBO, one of these short-term rental sites. So how do you do it? Well, signing up and listing your place is pretty straightforward. One thing Airbnb recommends is that you put a lot of high-quality photos on your listings. That's going to entice people to stay, especially when you don't have a lot of reviews. And reviews are very important on these sites. That's why it's important to list any host rules or anything that might surprise your guests, a lot of stairs or a tricky key in that listing, and set their expectations.
I first became familiar with Airbnb knowing people who had mortgages, a couple of different friends who had mortgages, and they ended up having to couch surf and rent their apartments on Airbnb just to maintain their mortgages between jobs. So I was aware of it that way, and I never really thought about it too much. And then I've used it once or twice traveling previously, and because I was planning to go away last summer for 6 weeks, it just seemed like an ideal way to make sure my rent was paid while I was away.
So how much money can you make? Well, according to Elliott, that's a website that tracks short-term rental prices, the average price of a single-bedroom apartment in Montreal is $148 a night, but that can vary. In the Plateau or the Old Port, prices tend to be higher than in other parts of town, and during events like Osheaga or the Grand Prix, prices can double. So is it legal? Well, that depends. If you're renting your place out for a single weekend while you're away or a single tourist event, that's fine. But the moment you rent it out for 2 tourist events, you have to register with the CITQ. That's a government-mandated tourism agency. And if you live in a condo, you should really check with your condo association because many of them ban short-term rentals and can fine residents more than $1,000 a night. And if you rent, you probably want to check with your landlord. Certainly the moment your rental becomes commercial, then you can be evicted. So is it worth it? Well, some hosts we talked to said yes, but others were a little more nuanced.
If I was going away for a substantial amount of time, I guess I would try to do it again. But, we went to Mexico for a week, 10 days, and we didn't bother doing it this time.